You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, an outbreak of bird flu has been reported in Neosho. We'll have the latest.
Also, Nevada police are seeking the public's help in catching an armed robbery suspect.
And we've got what looks like a beautiful start to the day. It is bitterly cold outside, though. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. Just after 7 a.m. on this Monday morning, January the 20th. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Yes.
It is Inauguration
Yes,
Day. A lot
on.
going on. And Lori Horton Day as well because she's here. And yeah, it smells really good down here.
Yeah, always sweet and desserty. I love it. It's great.
I think with that, we're just going to give the rest of the show to Lori, and we'll supervise.
Yeah,
I think she's got this. But speaking of celebrating, speaking of eating,
yes,
a lot of celebrating going on over the weekend.
Certainly. Well, a bar and grill in Pittsburg, Kansas hosted a watch party for the Kansas City Chiefs Saturday. The Chiefs fans were loud, proud, and ready to cheer on their favorite team in the AFC divisional round.
KOAM's Mitch Adams has more details.
Today is all about the Chiefs. The Pit is the only place to come to watch the Chiefs because you got the best view everywhere that there is, and we love watching it here. The food is good. We love it here.
Chiefs fans flocked to the Pit to root for the defending back-to-back Super Bowl champions as they look to go on a run and win their 3rd Super Bowl in a row. One of the fans knew what he wanted from the Chiefs, but he won't let a hypothetical loss ruin their good time.
Well, today's game, we're going to have to pick up on defense, but being at the Pit with everybody we know and all the friends just makes it 10 times better no matter if they win or lose.
But what's the difference between watching the game at the Pit instead of watching the game at home?
The food, the atmosphere, the waitresses are great. Everything here is so good. It just makes for a fun atmosphere, and there's not a bad seat in the house. We got TVs everywhere.
Not only did the Chiefs walk away with a win, the atmosphere created by the Chiefs Kingdom at the Pit was a winner as well. In Pittsburgh, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Whether the Chiefs win or lose in the next round, the Pit will still host a Super Bowl party as well.
Of course, we know they won this past weekend.
Yes.
I know a lot of folks rooting them on. We got the next game coming up this
course.
upcoming weekend,
Get
right?
That three-peat's still alive.
They certainly, it certainly is. They certainly could make it happen. And at least if the Chiefs do make it to the Super Bowl, it'll be a lot warmer where they're going than where we are right now. And if it's this cold here, you can only imagine how cold it is in Kansas City right now. Let's take a look outside. It looks beautiful. And that sunrise nice. You got just a few clouds, clear skies, nice colors. And then you open the door and you regret opening the door immediately because it is cold. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, also looking pretty good. And I think I've mentioned this before, but honestly, I want to know what goes into things like traffic signals and these signs, especially traffic signals. I mean, they're computerized. There's computers that tell them what to do, how to read things, where the traffic is. You put your computer outside in this kind of weather, I guarantee you it's not going to last more than 10 minutes. But we just expect these things to do their job, and thankfully they certainly are doing their job. KDOT camera, 69 East 520th Avenue south of Pittsburgh, also looking fairly good this morning, other than the fact, again, it is quite cold. In fact, it's cold enough that we have cold weather advisories, and again, those have replaced wind chill watches, things like that. All of these run until noon tomorrow because we're going to have bitterly cold temperatures today, dangerously cold temperatures tonight. And while we're going to be a little warmer tomorrow, it is still going to be very cold. Now, on top of the cold, yeah, that stuff there, that falls under the snow category. Now, we're not anticipating anything significant, but we could get a few light snow showers, maybe some flurries, and we're talking at most maybe a dusting on grassy surfaces as we head through the afternoon. Nothing significant out there, but if you see some flurries, do not be surprised. Otherwise, it's just going to be straight up cold, and it is straight up cold right now. 7 in Joplin, 3 in Pittsburgh, and taking a look at temperatures around the area, it is 1 in Fort Scott. I mean, I guess on the plus side, we all are on the plus side. There's no negative numbers, but then you factor in, again, even just a slight breeze. When it is 1, You put in just a slight breeze, and thankfully no slight breeze in Fort Scott, so it still feels like 1. But then you get Iola sitting at 5 below is what the feels like is. And that's been the nice thing. Our winds are relatively calm out there, so we're doing okay in terms of wind chills, but even just a 5-mile-an-hour breeze is going to tank that wind chill in temperatures like this. Again, not a lot of warming today. Eventually we'll make the upper teens, low 20s, a few isolated snow showers here and there. Otherwise, mostly cloudy to straight up cloudy. Again, we'll have that northwest wind about 5 to 10, so not as bad as it was over the weekend, but still a light breeze is going to make it feel much colder out there. We're going to be very cold tonight. We're going to be pretty darn cold tomorrow, but tomorrow the winds shift, and that is going to bring in some slightly warmer temperatures. Details on all of that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks. Well, an outbreak of bird flu is reported at Opal Foods in Neosho, Missouri. The outbreak was confirmed last week at the Hathaway Farm near Crowder in Neosho. The virus was identified after an increase in bird mortality prompted testing by state and USDA labs. As a result, all 1.6 million birds at the facility are being euthanized. Larry Bergner with the Newton County Health Department says employees are being monitored. So far, there have been no signs of illness. Bergner also says there is no public health risk at this time. Well, Clay County deputies were executing a court order at LPG Ventures just before 7 Saturday morning. It's a shortage tanking and equipment company off North Jefferson Street in Kearney. They were there to seize business assets to be sold to pay an $8,000 judgment in a civil case. As deputies were processing the scene, a spokesperson for the sheriff's office says a man believed to be the owner of the business snuck onto the property, jumped into an 85,000-pound crane, and started to drive it toward the deputies. Those deputies drew their guns to stop the driver, who they say resisted but was eventually arrested. Now, the man is currently in the Clay County Detention Center on an investigative hold for assault on officers. He is yet to be formally charged, but investigators say charges are likely. Multiple emergency responders were alerted to a house fire in Webb City early Sunday morning. Officials say on arrival, heavy fire was observed from the southeast corner of the home. And both Liberty Utilities and Spire Gas were asked to cut service to the home. The fire was said to be under control by 7:45 a.m. No information as to what caused the fire, but you can watch for updates on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Authorities are asking for the public's help in locating a male suspected of robbing a convenience store in Nevada, Missouri. At approximately 10 p.m. Friday evening, Nevada police were alerted to the robbery. Reports say the male suspect, dressed in all black, entered the store and brandished a handgun. The suspect then fled on foot with an undisclosed amount of cash. The public is asked to contact the Nevada Police Department with any information you may have. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Lori Horton joins us in the studio to teach us her recipe for banana cheesecake delight. Welcome back. We have Lori Horton in the studio this morning to teach us how to make banana cheesecake delight. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, it looks so good already.
It is. This is a no-bake, super easy layered dessert. Little refrigeration in between, so you can just throw it outside in between if you need to.
Right.
This is ridiculous. We've got some basic ingredients here, nothing too crazy. I'm going to make it in my disposable pan this morning. You can do this in like a glass dish. This is a little bit smaller than a 9x13 because as you can see on our finished one, it's a nice thick layered dessert. So you can do it in a little bit bigger pan. You'll get a little bit thinner layers on there. It's really up to you. All I've got in my bowl this morning though is a whole box. I saved just a few out to decorate the top with, but just plain old vanilla wafers.
Classic.
Nothing fancy. I put them in the food processor. Just crushed them to pieces, a nice fine crush on that, not a lot of pieces left. And then there's a little bit of brown sugar in there. They are sweet, but we want to give them just a little bit of that softness. And then I'm going to add to that about 1.5 sticks of melted butter. And I just kind of whisked the vanilla wafers and the brown sugar together. So you didn't get any pieces left over. Fun fact, if you leave brown sugar in your car overnight when it is 0 degrees, it gets very, very solid. So we had to microwave that a little bit this morning to bring it back to life. But It's in there. So we're going to go past the wet sand.
Okay.
Sometimes when we do our no-bake bases,
Right.
we go for kind of a wet sand. This is a little bit softer than that.
Okay.
And you're just going to take that then, dump it in the bottom of that pan. And then I've got one good metal measuring cup that I always save for these types of things. It's got kind of a square bottom to
Yes.
it, and I can use it for patting those things down. So just kind of distribute this in your pan, and then we're gonna just switch over to that real fancy tool there and use that to really smash that down into the bottom. Get it nice and even and all the way into those corners, and that's why this particular little cup works so well. And the metal is better than a plastic one because it doesn't stick to what I'm putting in there. So I can even spray it with a nonstick spray if I need to, and make sure that I really have a good little mallet there. It really does. So to that, we're gonna go super easy.
Okay.
And the next ingredient, the next layer, is just a no-bake cheesecake.
Okay, yeah.
Ready to use. If you're a purist, you can make your own cheesecake filling. Don't feel like you have to do the store-bought. I actually did the math though right now. This is about the same price as buying those
Might as well get that
ingredients.
one,
So kind of save yourself a little bit of work, but just make sure if you do make your own that it is a no-bake filling. We don't want any eggs or anything in there because this is not going anywhere near an oven. And we're just going to put that on top. We're going to smooth it out nice and even over our vanilla wafer layer. And then when we come back, we're going to do a layer of some sliced bananas. We're going to do a yummy vanilla pudding flavor and top it off with some decoration and some Cool Whip and just make it look delicious.
Well, it already looks so good. I can't wait to try it. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Lori is showing us the finishing touches on the banana cheesecake delight. So what's next, Lori?
Next up is just those fresh bananas. This is such a nice, unfortunately not low calorie dessert, but it's a light dessert. It's something that's just not quite as heavy and, you know, candy syrupy sweet. We're going to get that fresh fruit in there. So on top of my cheesecake layer, whether you made it from scratch or you used that pre-made, we're going to layer just some banana slices. And, you know, make sure, keep in mind when you scoop this out, you serve it, you're going to be taking those kind of spoon-sized pieces. So be sure to get them all into those corners and edges so that nobody's scoop is missing any of those fresh bananas. And I'm going to save just a few pieces back to lay on top. Our next layer, I've actually got 2 boxes, and this is just the normal size, small boxes of vanilla Jello pudding, instant, of course. We're going to add to that 3 cups of milk. And this falls into our baking category. Anytime my recipe calls for milk, always want to make sure you use whole milk.
Okay, yes.
You need that full fat in there. Unfortunately, it just comes out best. I'm going to add just a little splash of rum flavoring to that. That's going to really bring out that banana. You could add banana. You could actually use banana pudding. If you're just really all about the bananas, go all in and use an actual banana pudding in there. We're going to just whisk that together. It's going to have to sit for just a couple minutes to start to thicken up just a smidge before we pour it on there. So we're going to set that aside. And the last ingredient we put on there is just going to be our Cool Whip layer. And this is just straight out of the container, whip topping, whatever your favorite is. If you like the extra creamy or the vanilla, you can really kind of actually take this to almost a low sugar level by using the zero sugar pudding and the low sugar Cool Whip. So you have kind of some options to make it slightly less terrible for you. But on top of this, then I've saved back to some of my whole vanilla wafers, and my OCD is going to make me divide this up nice and even so I have my scoops ready to pull out of there. So we're going to take these down and put the same amount hopefully on each piece. And once we do that, we'll throw a few little banana slices in the middle. And this is not the low sugar, low fat version. Right. So I'm going to actually even dress mine up with a little bit of caramel topping. Delicious. Right? With the banana.
Perfect with the banana.
Come on. Now also This did not freeze overnight, so I don't know if that's good or bad, but however, whatever magic is in there. So we'll dress this up with a little bit of that topping. And then just in this short amount of time, I want to come back and show you how quickly our pudding mixture is ready to set and put on top
gorgeous.
of that. But doesn't that look
so pretty?
Really, really good. So that one is really ready to serve, but that quickly,
Oh, wow.
our pudding mixture is starting to kind of gel and set. It doesn't take long because this has much less milk in
Right.
it than what it would
Yes.
call for pudding. And again, it's pretty cold, so my milk is nice and cold. It's going to take just a couple extra minutes. You don't want to let this totally set before you pour it on. But
So
it's
just a
not
few
gonna
minutes,
get
like you're
solid.
saying.
Just
Yeah.
you literally another minute, and this will be kind of a little more solid to where we can pour this on top and we can just smooth it out nice and even. I think it works a little bit easier, even though the Cool Whip is nice and creamy,
Right.
if we set that in the fridge for just a couple minutes before you go to the next layer. You
absolutely.
don't want them to just totally mix together. It's always nice when you slice those pieces out and you can see your layers of all those ingredients. So this is a great one for a full-size party. You could cut this recipe in half easily enough. I don't know why you would.
Right.
But that makes a really good size amount for you to take to an event, and it keeps well. You can do it overnight and just add those toppings at the last minute and you're ready to go.
All right, wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Lori. We'll, of course, have this recipe on KOAMNewsNow.com later on this morning. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:23 on this Monday morning. We're going to start with the future track, and yes, that is snow that's showing up for today. We've kind of talked about this since last week. We are looking at the possibility of some light snow showers, light flurries. We're talking no more than a dusting at most, and mainly on grassy surfaces out there. So nothing to really worry about, but there is going to be that possibility for a few flurries or light snow showers as we head through today. Outside of that, though, it is just simply going to be cold. It'll be chilly, like I mentioned. The wind chills are going to be not too terrible, but with these temperatures, again, it doesn't take much wind to make it feel much colder. We're going to be mostly cloudy, just plain old cloudy. Overnight tonight, skies will begin to clear, and we will be cold again starting tomorrow morning in the single digits. But tomorrow, get some good news. Winds are going to shift out of the southwest. Yep, that's going to make it feel cool out there again. We're straight up cold, but it's going to help bring in slightly warmer air. Now for tomorrow, our temperature's not much warmer than where we're going to be today, maybe just a few degrees warmer. But with the warmer air being pushed in, what happens as we go into the overnight hours, watch these temperatures. And we go overnight. Do you see how much they don't move overnight? Yeah, that's the good news, is we're not going to see our temperatures drop too terribly much as we go Tuesday night into Wednesday, which means we'll have an opportunity to be a little warmer on Wednesday with south winds out there, starting the day in the mid-20s. So we're going to be starting Wednesday almost 20 degrees warmer than where we are right now. And as we head into the afternoon, that will allow us to have even warmer air out there, which will be nice. It will not be, summertime warm. It will not even be springtime warm, but for many of us, it will be considerably better than where we are right now. As for where we are right now, well, it is, it stinks. It's bad. 1 in Fort Scott, that is the cold spot. Taking a look around, the warm spot at this point was just down the highway from Fort Scott in Yates Center, sitting at 9. And again, the winds thankfully this morning are light, but where they have picked up a bit, we've seen wind chills upwards of 10 below, and that's with a light breeze, mind you. So it doesn't take much, again, in the cold weather, make it feel much colder. Partly cloudy skies to start, kind of like what we're seeing right now. Single digits, upper teens by 11, clouds increasing, as will that opportunity for a stray flurry or light snow shower. Otherwise, again, mostly cloudy to straight up cloudy. Upper teens, low 20s, and a northwest breeze at 5 to 10. Skies again will gradually clear overnight. Any of these little snow showers or flurries will be done by 10. We're back into the single digits. Our winds will be calm tonight. They'll be out of the southwest at 5 to 10 tomorrow. Still cold, but plentiful sunshine, mid to upper 20s. And you see our lows not far off from our highs tomorrow night. And we see decent weather, maybe a snow shower or two on Thursday. Not bad Friday, a little warmer, low 40s, near 50 Saturday with some snow, or not snow, not this time, just some rain showers. Some rain showers possible Sunday, and we'll kind of bounce around with our temperatures next week. But once we get past tomorrow, we're going to be a little bit better with those high temperatures. To check of your forecast, we are back with more right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Snowe. The second annual bridal market was held Sunday at Memorial Hall in Carthage. Brides-to-be can shop on last-minute items they need for their weddings, bridal showers, or bachelorette party. Vendors had items like jewelry and pictures and even venues.
Wedding planning has been super exhausting and stressful, but coming here and seeing everything all in one spot is pretty awesome, and seeing the things that I've missed or didn't know that I needed.
I love to help people, and when I see them get excited, see them building a relationship with somebody that can help them, can work with them to make their day special, there's nothing like that.
The idea behind the market is a mixture between a bridal expo and a garage sale. The St. Louis Cardinals made a stop Saturday at MSSU in Joplin. The stop is part of the Cardinal Caravan, in which members of the team stop at 20 cities in 4 days. Audience members also had the chance to meet the players, ask them questions, and get autographed items. Cardinals alumni Kyle McClellan and Benji Molina were also a part of Saturday's caravan.
Well, I've been a Cardinals fan since I was a boy. Used to listen to them when I lived in Illinois, and so it's been many years, so it's kind of cool to pass that along to the younger generation. I'm enjoying it, and I think they are too.
Each guest also received a free gift from the Missouri Farm Bureau. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Start to the day out there. It certainly, again, it looks all right, but it is not feeling so much out there. If you've got Siberian Huskies, for example, they're probably loving some of this, but you still want to be careful with them. As a live look, downtown Pittsburgh, again, just a few clouds out there right now, but clouds begin to increase as we head through the morning. And believe it or not, eventually some white stuff might fall from the sky, and I'm not talking dandruff. We are looking at MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline, looking pretty good as well. Folks getting their day started. 69, okay, here comes a truck. I'm going to say it's eerily deserted this morning, but still, otherwise, at least the roads are in pretty good shape. We have a cold weather advisory for all the counties highlighted in this dark blue color until noon tomorrow, because we're going to have dangerously cold temperatures tonight. It's going to be bitterly cold through today into tomorrow afternoon as well. Here's a look at the future track for today. Again, isolated flurries or snow showers will be possible. We're not really expecting much in the way of accumulations. I think at this point we're looking at best maybe a dusting to possibly half an inch on grassy surfaces. Otherwise, it is just going to be cold and cloudy, and it is already cold. It'll do a little bit of warming though. It's 7 in Joplin, 5 in Pittsburgh, and take a look around the area. It is just, it's bad. It is very cold. 1 in Fort Scott. That is the cold spot on this map. Then just down the road, Yates Center, the warm spot, sitting at 9. And you factor in even a light breeze. Some of us getting a wind chill out there. Joplin feels like 2 below. Independence, 4 below 0. Iola feels like 3 below. So with these very cold temperatures, doesn't take much of a breeze to make it feel much colder. Again, clouds increasing through the morning. Slight chances of an isolated flurry or light snow shower. Upper teens, low 20s for our highs, with northwest winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's going to be cold again tomorrow, but changes start building in tomorrow. That'll bring a slightly warmer air. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks. Well, today Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. Last night, the president-elect took a victory lap with supporters at a rally where he gave a glimpse of what to expect in the first few days of his second administration. Dangerously cold weather has forced the swearing-in ceremony inside of the Capitol, though security remains tight for the thousands of supporters who came to watch the festivities. Jared Hill has more from Washington.
It's fun to stay at the Y.
President-elect Donald Trump pumped up supporters at a rally in downtown D.C. just hours before taking the oath of office for a second time.
The American people have given us their trust, and in return, we're going to give them the best first day, the biggest first week, and the most extraordinary first 100 days of any presidency in American history.
Trump plans to sign around 200 executive orders after he's sworn in, ranging from diversity hiring programs to oil drilling and immigration. Trump is also expected to launch a series of immigration raids in cities across the country this week.
We'll begin the largest deportation operation in American history.
Some supporters say they'll be back in the arena today to watch Trump's inauguration, after he said frigid temperatures forced the ceremony inside of the Capitol.
My I was really hoping to be able to be outside and be part of that where you're actually with Donald Trump, but didn't work out, and that's okay.
There are about 30 miles of fencing throughout Washington, plus tens of thousands of officers and military personnel here to safeguard the inauguration. Crucial now, especially that so many who would have watched in the concentrated area in front of the Capitol will instead be spread out across the city. Crews scrambled to build a special stage inside of the Capitol Rotunda where roughly 600 guests, including former presidents, members of Congress, foreign leaders, and several tech CEOs, will watch the inauguration in person. Jared Hill, CBS News, Washington.
Over the weekend, President-elect Trump and wife Melania launched new cryptocurrency coins that hit a market cap in the billions, raising questions over how much the tokens may have added to the Trump's personal wealth. Let's look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Federal Trade Commission is suing PepsiCo for allegedly engaging in illegal price. In Consumer Watch this morning, the Federal Trade Commission is taking food company PepsiCo to court. The agency is accusing the company of allegedly engaging in illegal price discrimination with a large retailer. The FTC says a retailer benefited from consistent pricing advantages through promotional payments and advertising from PepsiCo. The agency said those benefits present a disadvantage to family-owned grocers, local convenience stores, and even larger chains. Now, in a statement, PepsiCo says it, quote, strongly disputes the FTC's allegations and will vigorously represent their case in court. Well, some Costco workers could be heading to the picket lines. Costco's Teamsters Union says its members voted in favor of authorizing a strike. Now, that's if a new contract is not reached by January 31st. The union says 85% of more than 18,000 members voted to authorize the strike as the final week of negotiations begin, with the two sides set to begin today. The union is demanding fair wages and benefits that it says, quote, reflects the company's enormous success. Costco has yet to comment on the announcement of a potential strike. And Donald Trump has a long list of goals he intends to implement on day one after being sworn in today as the nation's 47th president. And it appears he's making TikTok a priority, revealing his plans to grant a 90-day extension on a law that would ban the app from the U.S. entirely. Fox News' Sue Guzman takes a closer look at how and why the site is now back online.
After going offline in the U.S. for several hours in response to a federal ban, TikTok began restoring service to the social media site on Sunday.
Who in this audience goes with TikTok? Many? Yeah, very popular.
On the eve of his inauguration, Donald Trump said he would help keep the app from being banned upon returning to the White House. In a post to X, TikTok officials wrote they're ready to work with Trump on a long-term solution that keeps TikTok in the country, adding in part, quote, we thank President Trump for providing the necessary clarity and assurance to our service providers that they will face no penalties providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans.
We have to save it a lot of jobs.
President Joe Biden signed a law requiring TikTok's Chinese-based parent company ByteDance to sell the app to a U.S. company by January 19th or have it disappear. The Supreme Court unanimously upholding the law, and many lawmakers on Capitol Hill said TikTok poses national security threats. Even Trump himself talked of banning the app in 2020. But in a Sunday post on Truth Social, Trump wrote in part, quote, I will issue an executive order on Monday to extend the period of time before the law's prohibitions take effect so that we can make a deal to protect our national security. Meanwhile, Trump says he also wants the U.S. to have a 50% ownership position, writing in part, quote, my initial thought is a joint venture between the current owners and or new owners, whereby the U.S. gets a 50% ownership in a joint venture set up between the U.S. and whichever purchase we so choose. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:43 on this Monday morning. I almost said Friday. I know we wish. It's just starting though. But it is Monday, and we do have cold weather advisories across parts of the area. And all of these, even though they're being issued by about 3 different agencies, will run until noon tomorrow because it's going to be very cold today, dangerously cold tonight, Very cold tomorrow, but then we'll start to see some slight improvements. Let's talk about that on to the future track. Now, for today, I know we've been talking about it. You're probably seeing it, and I'm telling you, you got to be cautious what you read on social media, especially if it's from your neighbor down the street and not a trusted weather source, okay? Yes, there is snow on the horizon for today. No, it is not going to blizzard. No, we're not going to get 6 to 12 inches. No, none of those things. Just going to be cold and maybe a dusting to a tot most, a half inch, and primarily on grassy surfaces. So there's no need to worry, no need to panic yet. I'm sure at some point, because we're only in January and snow in this area runs all the way through April sometimes, we may get one more good snowstorm. Who knows? But this is not going to be it. We're talking light flurries, a few snow showers, and that's really going to be about it. Outside of that, we are mostly cloudy to straight up cloudy and cold across the region. Now tonight, skies will begin to clear, so partly cloudy overnight, clear skies to start the day tomorrow, and of course, dangerously cold temperatures, very similar to what we're seeing right now. However, some changes. Change number one, the winds will begin to shift out of the southwest. Now the good news is, unlike through the weekend, these winds will not be gusting. They'll be out of the southwest about 5 to 10. It's still going to be enough. It's going to make a wind chill, but not as extreme as what we saw even just yesterday. The southwest winds don't play a significant role in our temperatures initially for Tuesday, so it's still going to be pretty darn chilly. We're still in the 20s. But what I want you to watch is from 5 p.m. Tuesday to 5 a.m. Wednesday. Watch these temperatures. You see how much they don't move? That's that southwest wind bringing in some warm air slowly. Now, yeah, it's not going to feel any warmer, but we're talking low temperatures tomorrow night that are only going to be 5 to 8 degrees cooler than what our highs are. So that means we're starting Wednesday in a much better position, about 20 degrees warmer than where we are right now, and about that same zone as we'll be tomorrow morning. We'll still have some clouds here and there on our Wednesday, so partly to mostly cloudy skies. Southerly winds continue, and now we're getting into the 30s. Yeah, I know it's still cold. I'm not crazy. You guys at home know me by now. If it's below 60 degrees, it's too cold. But it is going to be much better than where we have been, and that trend will continue as we head into the weekend. We just got to get through today and tomorrow. And boy, it's going to be tough. Don't get me wrong. It is 1 in Fort Scott. That is the cold spot on this map. And again, still at this point, the ironic thing is just to your west on 54, Yates Center sitting at 9. Not like that's tremendously warm, but it's warmer than 1. We're going to be in the single digits to start. Partly cloudy skies out there. Clouds will increase. We'll start to see those isolated flurries. Upper teens by 11 a.m. We'll have a northwest breeze today, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So it's enough. When it blows, it'll make it feel much colder. Single digits tonight, mid to upper 20s tomorrow. Upper teens, low 20s tomorrow night. Here we go into the 30s. Snow shower or two possible Thursday. Low 40s on Friday, near 50 by Saturday. Rain chances Saturday and Sunday. After that, though, you can see our temperatures kind of bounce around there, but they all stay warmer than where we are right now. So again, we just got to get through today and tomorrow. We're going to have slightly better temperatures on the horizon. That's checking your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, pizzerias in Los Angeles unite to provide free pizza to people dealing with the wildfires.
Fox's Chelsea Edwards reports.
It's there, but...
Rotating through a Chinatown kitchen and a wood-burning oven set up outside, LA's top pizzerias joined forces to make and donate pies for the people.
This is our first gathering of the LA Pizza Alliance, and basically it's 25 pizzerias that all came together in Chinatown to make pizza for people in need, first responders, families, you name it.
The event, hosted by Tommy Brockert's La Sorted's Pizza on Broadway.
It's a tough time right now. A lot of people are scared, but we're here. People are here for you, to feed you, to say hello, give you a hug, and that's what we're doing. They're reminding people how special Los Angeles is and what we're capable of when we all come together.
Volunteers signed up to pick up pies and deliver them all over LA County.
Pizza. Thank you. There's cookies in there. All right. Awesome, man. All kinds of stuff.
Many of these firefighters in Highland Park haven't been home since the fires broke out last week. They were thrilled with the surprise pizza delivery at Fire Station 12.
It's nice because you can kind of see how much the community cares, and we never really expect a thank you for anything.
You know, we all love what we do, and we're a very passionate bunch. We don't do it for what we get back from the community, but it's absolutely... it means a lot to us.
In the end, some 1,400 slices of pie were made and given out to anyone who wanted them. No questions asked.
We don't need to quantify what's going on. We don't need to hear a story about what you've been through for the last 10 days. We've all been through a lot.
That's certainly an impressive
Yes.
thing for them to do, to be able to step up and offer at least something back to the firefighters. And even after everything they've been through, too, to hear the firefighters say they still don't expect anything
course,
back. They're
yeah.
just doing what they love.
Yeah, they more than deserve it.
Yeah, amazing work out there and still a lot to do. As for us here at home, it is still very cold. Let's take one more look. We got those cold weather advisories until noon tomorrow. So we're talking temperatures, single digits, wind chills. In some cases already this morning have been a bit below zero. So with temperatures as cold as they are, it doesn't take much of a breeze to make it feel considerably colder out there. Into the afternoon we go. Yeah, some snow out there. We're talking light flurries or light snow showers. Now we could see flurries outside of where the future track's highlighting the snow, but we're expecting no more than a dusting, perhaps a half inch, and most of that will be on grassy surfaces. Now, yeah, the roads are going to be cold enough. It could stick in some spaces or in some places, mainly, say, bridges, overpasses, so we just want to be cautious for maybe a couple of slick spots tomorrow morning. But outside of that, nothing significant from the snow. It's just going to be mostly cloudy to straight up cloudy today. Skies begin to clear overnight tonight. Another bitterly cold night, hence some of those cold weather advisories out there. However, tomorrow, the winds will begin to shift out of the southwest for us, and as that happens, it won't have a major impact on our highs tomorrow. We're probably going to be about that much warmer than where we will be today. But as we showed you earlier, from 5 p.m. Tuesday to 5 a.m. Wednesday, temperatures don't really move a lot. And that's going to be the benefit here, is we're going to have a slightly milder night, back into the teens and 20s instead of the single digits tomorrow night. And then by Wednesday, even though we've got some clouds, temperatures with the south breeze will be a bit warmer as well, as we're starting to go right around the mid, maybe even some upper 30s across the area. So we will start to warm up. We've just got to get through today and tomorrow before that happens. Well, that's a quick check of your forecast. We'll have one more look at that, plus the news you need to know right after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Well, an outbreak of bird flu was reported at Opal Foods in Neosho, Missouri. The outbreak was confirmed last week at the Hathaway farm near Crowder in Neosho. The virus was identified after an increase in bird mortality prompted testing by state and USDA labs. Now, as a result, all 1.6 million birds at the facility are being euthanized. Larry Bergner with the Newton County Health Department says there is no public health risk at this time. And authorities are asking for the public's help in locating a male suspected of robbing a convenience store in Nevada, Missouri. At approximately 10 p.m. Friday evening, Nevada police were alerted to the robbery. Reports say the male suspect dressed in all black and entered the store and brandished a handgun. The suspect then fled on foot with an undisclosed amount of cash. The public is asked to contact the Nevada Police Department with any information you may have. Multiple emergency responders were alerted to a house fire in Webb City early Sunday morning. Officials tell us on arrival, heavy fire was observed from the southeast corner of the home. Both Liberty Utilities and Spire Gas were asked to cut service to the home. The fire was said to be contained by 7:45 a.m. No information as to what caused the fire.
And we've got ourselves, again, a cold day out there today. Highs, upper teens, low 20s. Isolated flurries, light snow showers here and there. No major accumulations. And we'll have a northwest breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour into the evening. Again, a few snow showers out there. Those should wrap up by 10 o'clock at the latest. Some might be done earlier than that. We'll be back down to about 5 for our low. So back to the single digits. Winds will be calm overnight tonight. Skies gradually clearing. It'll be sunny tomorrow, slightly warmer, but with that southwest wind, our high temperatures and our low temperatures tomorrow, not that dissimilar. And as we go through the rest of the week, again, we're not soaring to springtime type temperatures by any means. Maybe a snow shower Thursday, a couple of showers this weekend, but temperatures improving significantly as we go into the next few days, and even look at Saturday, close to about 50 degrees. So we just got to get through today and tomorrow, and then we'll be at least a little better than where we are right now.
Alrighty. Well, a border collie in England is apparently bordering on genius status as he earns a distinction from academic researchers. Now, the 6-year-old collie named Harvey of Reading England has a speedy mind and plenty of brains to show. Harvey has been crowned Britain's brightest dog based on an international research study on dog cognition.
Now, what impresses researchers is the dog's ability to remember objects from memory after hearing the words, such as learning the names of toys really quickly. University study says dogs can develop a multisensory mental image of their familiar objects. Harvey gets plenty of images to practice with for hours each day because he owns 203 toys. About as many as my kids seem to own these days. Quite a bit. This is what's one bright dog, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning. With the inauguration happening today, we will not be here at noon, but we'll be back tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Have a great rest of your day.